Hello! Welcome back. Welcome to the stream. I know it's been a long time since you've seen this face, since I've been streaming. It's been an interesting year, so yeah, welcome back to the chat. I see we have well, this is the first promotional chat I've ever got. Interesting. Well, nice to know, nice to know. Today it's just going to be a sort of simple stream, sort of simple, kind of chill as we usually do. Gonna be just paintings with some gouache. This is Himi gouache we'll be working with. Hopefully I've ironed out all the kinks after having not streamed for so long, just brushed off the dust, as it were. Should have troubleshot everything that was wrong. Pardon if my face camera's a little off today. That's one thing I couldn't quite get. I'm just have a bright, brilliant face the whole time. Hopefully, though, the camera for the art, which is the important thing, focuses and does pretty well. I've hopefully fixed everything. Please bear with us. Our computer, ever since, you remember last January's flood, has been a bit scuffed ever since it got damaged. So, prayers for this computer, I guess. It is hanging on by a thread. So this is going to be a little bit of a test run, too, see if it still can handle streaming. Yeah, just to get back into the rhythm and the habit of things. I intend to stream a lot more than I did last year. There's a lot of we moved last year, or even now we're still unpacking things. So thank you guys so much for your patience and for bearing with us. So yeah, today I just felt like painting a little toad, and that's what we're gonna be doing. Again, Himi gouache, which is, I don't know if it's still popular. I heard it was like, I remember it was popular like quite a bit ago. I do know I work part-time at an art store, and a lot of times I will have, recently one specific teacher had a list, and students will come in like, do you sell Himi gouache? I'm like, nah. Unfortunately, that seems to be mostly an online thing I've noticed. I don't see a lot of stores, like in-person art stores, carrying Himi gouache, although I could be wrong. I only know of like a few, and I haven't personally looked for it in stores just because, I already obviously have a set. So, I do wonder why that is. Maybe it could just be that, suppliers, maybe they're, like art stores might be a little slow on the trend. I often have people coming in like, do you have this new art marker from TikTok? Like a hohu, or I don't keep up with the TikTok trends for art supplies. But I always get people coming in like, do you have this thing? And I'm like, no, but I have something similar. So that's always interesting. These are pretty fun to work with. They're not super light fast from what I've heard, like long term. So if you want this to last like a couple hundred years from now, look elsewhere. Otherwise, if you're just illustrating for fun, for yourself, as like an illustrator, they're pretty great, pretty lovely to work with. Otherwise, yeah, a little chalky on the fingers once they dry. I do like them because they stay wet and I don't have to pour out paint from a tube and then I can't fit it back in the tube, so that's always a good thing. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know, I felt like drawing a toad today just because they're pretty easy to draw. They're fun to paint as well. If this one has got some interesting colors that I'm painting, my reference is from Pinterest. So this is more like just a little study, to be honest, just a little color study on like a black sketchbook type page. I don't expect the colors to be terribly, like, yes, realistic, but not, they might be a little bit exaggerated, because it's always more fun, I feel, to do that, to really push the colors when it comes to, painting and such. So, yeah. Apologies if you're squeamish about amphibians. I like them, so I'm gonna paint them. Yeah. So, I haven't had too much of a chance to experiment with other gouaches. I think I have another set of gouache. It's the tube sort. It might be a Holbein. I don't remember. Don't quote me. Of course, everyone in high school, I remember in high school, tried like, I think it's Michael's like arches, or it's not arches, like, do I still have it? No, I don't. I had this like really basic from Michael's gouache that was just abysmal. So I know what that's like. I know what that's. And I made some pretty okay paintings with it. Just in contrast, like other gouaches I've used. Ugh. Not so fun. Not so cool. I need to I'm so used to watercolor now that I'm treating this like watercolor, and I need to not. I probably need to just focus more. I keep relying on the translucency to help me with my colors. Like, oh, I need this blue to be lighter instead of just mixing it. Exactly. Like, this needs to be lighter. It's too dark. Give me some white. Hopefully for those frogs' green eyes. So, hopefully a little bit. I will keep anything that is supposed to be black in the painting, I'll keep it naturally more black. I need more green in his eyes. His eyes are too blue now. Needs to be more aqua. So, yeah. We'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it'll turn out well. It's been a hot minute since I've done painting, especially stuff on stream. So that'll be, it might be a little shorter stream today. I just want to get back into the habit of things, just build up that confidence again, just get back to, building that habit. I'm not one for New Year's resolutions just because that feels like you're setting yourself up for failure more often than not, at least with myself. Though I do have like a lot of goals this year. I think the biggest one is get back streaming more consistently, paint more, paint larger. I know this guy's a little small. Read a lot more. I have so many books I need to read that I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll read them at some point, and I never do. So hopefully, now that I've moved them closer to where I sit and sketch in the evenings, I will be able to do that better, more consistently. So here's hoping that happens. He's got a little blue in his toes down here too. Yike. It's interesting how like the light sort of reflects off this photo so that the underside's kind of almost bluish. I also don't want to get terribly blue either. So I just want to imply it. Yeah. So let me know if you have any like favorite art supplies or materials you like working with. I've always really been a watercolor type person, but I used to work watercolor dark to light, which is more of an oil or more of a gouache technique, which I didn't know until high school. People were like, Rafa, please, for the love of God, try gouache, and I didn't really get a chance till high school. So, but here we are. I've long since tried it. We're not trying it. We're just using it today. So that'll be fun. Yeah. Just something relaxed. Nothing too terrible. Gotta do a lot of yellows and oranges. Yeah. It's also got a kind of rough texture. You'd be surprised. Some toads are actually quite dry. Like, yeah, some are kind of slimy because they're all in the slime. There are some toads, especially there's like this absolutely massive toad that's from Africa. I forget what it's called. It's so dry and kind of rubbery almost. You'd be incredibly surprised. The sort of textures a variation of textures too that toads can have. I don't mind any of them. I think they're all adorable and cute and just have the most serious little faces. Yeah, they're just so like, I don't know. They're adorable to me. I know, when I was growing up, anytime I heard my mom scream, it's a toad in the laundry again that I gotta go catch. She did not like toads. Very much against them. Or not against them, just did not like them. And I understand that. It's not everyone's cup of tea, not everyone's thing. And just some people are just naturally just afraid of toads. That's just how life goes for them. Just like, oh, rip. That sucks personally, but I'm sure there's things I might be afraid of that I haven't found out that I just don't vibe with, and you gotta respect that. Yeah, luckily I live in Florida, so we do get a fair amount of toads and frogs and a lot of cool amphibians, a lot of cool critters, like year-round. I've never seen a newt before, though. Hey, Jello Sketch, welcome! Toads are cute, yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen any newts or salamanders. I know they have them here in Florida. I think maybe they're in North Florida, Middle Florida, just definitely not in the city. I've never seen one. A lot of lizards, toads, a lot of tree frogs here. Especially these like pretty big, sizable white tree frogs. So they're fun. They're the ones that get in the washing machine, in the washer dryer room, sort of an outdoor room. And they like to jump at whoever opens the door. A little jump scare. I don't mind them, but you know, if you're afraid of frogs, that's not a good thing. Ah, frog, save me. I should probably save that for later. Take this color. I forget you can like layer with gouache, and I need to do that more. I'm so used to like just doing a single layer and sort of almost coloring in all of the colors instead of, you know, layering, which is really something you can do with gouache quite easily, and sort of one of the benefits of it for being a watercolor. I mean, yeah, it's more for the acrylic gouaches you can do that, but if you're careful enough, you can do that with sort of watercolor gouache like I've got here. Yeah. So again, for you just joining the chat, I'm using Himi gouache. It's probably going to be a chill stream, maybe a shorter stream. Just going to paint this little toad guy. We're going to get back into the habit of streaming, hopefully, more consistently in the future. Yeah, I thought start off with something cute, something simple. A little toad. It's just blobs of color and shape. Yeah. So, didn't see too many toads while I spent a few years in Milwaukee. Didn't see as many. Then again, mostly in the city. Wasn't out looking for them either, which might have been why I didn't see any. Probably why I didn't see any. Yeah. Or newts. Apparently there's newts in Wisconsin. Never seen a single newt, much to my chagrin. Always wanted. That's way too bright. Frick. Always wanted to see one. They look so cute. They're like little wet lizards. Missed lizards when I was up north. In Miami, they're literally everywhere. You can't walk 2 feet without almost stepping on like 5. Yeah. Although there's a new invasive one I've been seeing. I've been calling them curly tails because I haven't bothered looking up what their proper name is. But they're these about this big, a lizard, got a curly, the tail just curls right up like a little spiral, and they're just really fast and everywhere. I used to only be like sort of Cuban anoles, anoles of all sorts here. Now you got these little horny spiral-tailed guys, and I'm like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. You weren't here when I was growing up. Found out later, yeah, they're invasive. Like, oh, that makes sense. Makes sense. So you can hear me, by the way, chat. I think I've got the sound all right. Tried troubleshooting earlier, make sure everything ran smoothly this stream. So, but we shall see. If you can't hear me, I suppose you can't answer that question. But the fact you haven't pointed out, hey, I can't hear you, might also be that you can hear me, you know. So there's always a delay in chat. Yeah. Trying right now to match all the yellow. There's such a variety of yellow in this guy. So I'm just trying to get that variety. I need more oranges in this yellow. Nothing like that. No, it needs more red. Might be too red, but oh well. It's whatever. It's whatever. Others. Oh. Yeah, they do love sun. Yeah, you're right. Sidewalk too. They love sun tanning on the sidewalk, which is why when you're walking, they like scare you off. Like, oh, don't step on me. So that's where I see them the most. And honestly, if you're in Florida, best place to find lizards is like midday on the sidewalk. They just love sun tanning. That's their whole shtick. Trick is if you can catch them. I've caught a fair amount of them, so I'd say, yeah, I can do that. If you haven't had the practice, who knows then? One thing I'd love to go out and try catching, a lot more dangerous, is to go out and hunt for pythons. That seems like fun to me. Because I really like snakes, and they are a problem. They're hella invasive, and they need to leave. Yeah. And I also don't mind getting bit. I know a lot of people are squeamish or whatnot. I never had a problem with snakes. So, I think I'd be decent at it. I think the real problem is there's a lot of venomous snakes in the Everglades too, so you gotta watch out for those. Yeah. That's the real problem. So, but you also should probably get some training for that sort of thing as well. Just don't rush into it either. So I'm sure if I actually looked into it, that there'd be places that I could learn that skill of corralling pythons. So there's a lot of cool things to do here nature-wise with Miami in Florida. So that I really ought to spend some time researching. I need more of this yellow, less of that yellow. Frick. Is this good enough? Yeah, that's good. Close enough to the color. So now showing up as white on the camera. It's not. Apply the glare. It's fine. It's fine. These always look much better in person, but that might just be the curse every artist has to face. Their art just looks more juicy and fun and colorful in person. My art history teacher always said, yes, I know you're seeing these things on the screen, like our examples of art history, but nothing beats going in person. So if you ever get a chance to see these paintings in person, you should do that. If you ever get the chance. And to be fair, it's quite true. You really ought to. If you ever get a chance to, I want to go to this museum or something, try it. The paintings are there's something 2D I can't capture about paintings, because it's almost like a 3-dimension to them. I'm going to put some white in here. And some here. Yeah. So there's a lot of good museums in most big cities. If you don't live in a city, a lot of small towns too will have a local museum or something, or even just get in touch with your local artist community. Go to to fairs and such. You don't need to go to a museum to enjoy good art. So yeah, it's always important to look at a bunch of different stuff, look at different artists, go out. It's helpful, it's good for you. This might have been way easier to do with pastel than this sort of paint, but we're here now. It's too late to turn back. Fuck it, we ball, as they say. I think I'll use this yellow instead. I think this yellow's coming out a bit too green, but I'm sure it'll come together in a bit later with a bit more cohesion. Let's see. Well, I'm not sure what type. Oh, I was I don't know what type of toad it is, and then I just read the picture description. Sonoran desert toad. Okay, rip, because I was planning on doing leaves for a background. I'll probably still do leaves for a background, to be honest. It's my painting. I can do what I want with it. Doesn't have to be scientifically accurate. This ain't a scientific illustration today. I do need to get into scientific illustration. It's one of the things I'm interested in. From what little research I've done, unfortunately, I have been told that you need like a degree in it and need to go to university for that. Other people say no, you don't. So I need to look up what that's all about, if that's true, if you need I know that's true for a librarian. If you want to be a librarian, you need to get a library science degree, which I didn't know was a thing until after I graduated school. Just like, oh darn, I was considering doing library things, but no, now I gotta go back to school and spend more money if I want to work at a library. At least work more than just like the basic sort of clerk, which in theory I'd want to do anything in a library besides just like, I like being a clerk. I've done it before, but I'd like to like be able to advance one's career, as they say. Libraries are quite interesting. Honestly, it's a darn shame Miami, not a good town to be a library. They really do not care about libraries, about literacy. The poor library is so underfunded and so sparse. There's been rumors that the Miami Public Library has been having to sell books just to keep the lights on, and honestly, I can't say that it could be because of how it's looking. There's like so many empty shelves. I know I see so many people like, who needs libraries? Everything's online. Like, a lot of people don't have access to the internet outside of a library. You kind of need libraries. Like, you just need them. It's kind of like mind-boggling. Some people are like, you don't need libraries. And so, well, just go on your iPad or your Kindle. Not everyone has a fucking iPad or a Kindle. But I guess not everyone thinks about that. Or doesn't care, which is, I think, a little worse. So I get very passionate about libraries. Love books. Love libraries. We honestly need more of them. It's like I heard a rumor that they were trying to remove school lunches or something. Like, oh, we don't need those anymore. It's not the 40s anymore. And I'm like, okay. Can't have anything these days. Yeah, I don't know why it'd be emptied out, but like, why else? Like, it's just weird. Every time I visit, it feels emptier. I mean, technically they're under renovations, and that's why you can't access the books, but sometimes I wonder. Yeah, no, me definitely talking about libraries. Yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. ADHD moment, it happens. I do wish be utilized more. A lot of people don't realize what a great resource they are. There's a lot of free programs and things too. Like, if you wanna learn a new language or have help like filling out applications or job hunting, basically name something you need help with. There's somebody there who can help you with it. So, but people just think, oh, it's just angry librarians who shush you, and books, and I don't read anymore. It's like, it's a darn pity, to be honest. They're more than just books. So, all the art books I used to go and check out are missing. So, I don't know. I don't know what happens. It's a mystery. A troubling one. So, we'll see. I'm sure we'll figure it out one day. You're like, oh, that's what happened. Pity. I need more white. Freak. Okay. That's too white, but okay. You know, I can always come back down from that and add more color to it. Need more yellow, to be honest. Oh, it is coming along. Definitely needs a little more highlights here on his snoot, his nose. Just because there's a really strong light up here. Also on his little eye ridges as well. I don't know, I've never painted this variety of toad. Your character likes to eat frogs? Interesting. I don't know if they have frogs in the ocean. Well, like like with the sea and toad eat? Oh, okay, not to eat, just to exist. I see. I don't know. I misread that as, ah, they like to eat them. I'm probably watching too much Star Wars. Oh, I see. I see. I mean, they can be quite cuddly. They're just like so palm shaped, perfectly palm shaped. Also, welcome to the chat. Um, just talk about frogs and libraries and gouache and art. Just it's a really chill stream. There's no real one discussion. We sort of just meander with topics while I paint a frog. It's probably gonna be a short and sweet stream just to get back into the habit of streaming because a lot of stuff happened last year. I mean, with the flood, my computer's kind of on the fritz, and I'm really just testing if I can stream sustainably or if things will go amiss. Add a purple to the frog? I mean, it's not really purple in the reference image, but I'll see what I can do. Maybe some purple leaves. That's this color. Okay. I need to. This is getting dry already. Freak. Gotta water your palette sometimes with little spray bottle. Especially with that Bohemian gouache that's like semi, or it's supposed to be liquidy and jello-y, but I've had this set for like a couple years, so it keeps wanting to dry up on me. Like, it's like that scene in Indiana Jones where like something got exposed to air and then instantly shriveled up because it hadn't been exposed to air in like a couple hundred years. I feel like that's sometimes these paints, like, air dries up. That's how it be sometimes. Yeah, I need to draw this other leg, or paint, I should say. It doesn't have to be too terribly close to what the colors are. I can, like, there's already some blue in here, just because I'm maybe exaggerating a bit, but that's some part of the fun with art, that you can sort of do that sort of thing and get away with it. Like there's just the slightest bit of yellow under his chin, not very terribly much. There's some here as well. It's kind of also trying to read, like, okay, what color does what? I think this yellow I picked is too green, so I gotta mix in some orangey yellow and then mix back in the green yellow because I went too far down on one side end of the spectrum that I need to rectify it. If you put too much orange in, then you need to put more green in, vice versa. Hope that makes sense. Probably doesn't. You should also stream some art to do's. Yeah. So my friend here made a lovely art to do box for me. And at some point I do intend to just draw something out of that box. It's like random prompts and such. I intend to do that. Today again, mostly like a sort of chill stream. Just pick something that I like painting. Toad seemed like a fun thing to paint, so that's what we're doing. You could also fill it with water overnight. And I recommend that mildew spray they sell. I didn't know there was like a mildew spray. I'm also not familiar with the SpongeBob scene you're mentioning. Let me go up and chat. I see I missed a few. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of the mildew thing. Is it like to prevent mold from growing in the sort of palette or something? I probably should do that. I usually do put like water overnight. Let it just soak. Yeah, alright. Interesting. I have to look into that. That could be useful. Definitely could be useful to me. I haven't had problems yet with mildew and mold, which is surprising given I live in bloody Florida. But then again, our apartment is always kept at a rather like cool temperature. Just because our building has really weird laws where it's or rules like you have to keep your AC at super freezing cold because it prevents mold or something. I'm not too clear on it. I mean, to be fair, their lease makes no sense because it's like no ice skating on the lake. A, there's no lake. B, we don't get snow. So somebody clearly didn't read their own contract well enough to know what's relevant. Like, yeah, I promise I won't ice skate on the lake. There's no freaking lake. It's just the ocean, and just I can't ice skate on liquid water, but okay. Oh, the blenders? Interesting. I haven't seen any mildew at this point. I've had them for a few years, so that's good at least. Um, be fair, they're more dry on the dry side than the moist side, which might be helping the whole not getting moldy side. Yeah. So I do need to see if there's a way. Unfortunately, some like paintings from middle school or whatever that I just kept around did get moldy during the flood. I need to see if there's a way to like fix them or restore them, or see how to, take mold out, or if that's just so damaged, But also, it's like I like to keep things from the before times to like just have a sort of thing to measure myself against later in life, like, oh wow, look how far I've come in terms of like illustrating and painting. If you compare like to middle school or high school, even freshman in college, it's pretty helpful to have that sort of archive, because I am otherwise very forgetful, and sometimes it's hard to be like, I have never improved in my life, because you forget that you have improved and that you are doing a lot better than you maybe used to, art-wise. Like, some people are like, nah, burn it. I'm gonna burn all my sketchbooks from middle school and high school, and I don't like this now, so we burn it, and it never sees the light of day again. And if that's your thing, oh, good for you. You do that. But for me, no, I gotta keep it, man. What if I need it? What if I need it in like 20 years? I mean, already, like the other day, I was looking through my middle school notebooks, like, oh, interesting what the thoughts of a middle schooler are. The little notes and doodles in the margins that I all had. It's quite interesting. A lot of Narnia-related stuff, which was interesting. So, you never know when you might need something from ages past, especially if you've got as terrible memory as me. Oh, redraw material? Absolutely, yeah. I agree. Like, you could be like, hey, look at this thing I used to draw. That's like a trend, I think, on a lot of websites. Like, I've seen on TikTok and YouTube and Insta, like, redraw this painting from 20 years ago and look how much I've improved. And they're really fun to do, to look at. I don't like this one spot. It's not blending how I want it to, but oh well, and not much I can do besides just pray and paint over it. Yeah, I need some, I need some green, actually, I think. Maybe a little green, itty bitty bit of green. For those shadowy bits, that's too much green, frick. Bap. Just for like the really absolute bottom bits of his tummy. Where like the blue is in. I sort of drew it with blue. I need green. Just because things aren't always like, his stomach isn't just white. It's gonna be blues and greens and grays and a bit of yellow here and such. So that'll really help pull this guy together. I think you're right. There are purples here. So I will be able to use purples. Huzzah, you'll be happy to know. Oh, I need more blues though. Blues. Go here. Oh, I already put blue here. Alright. I seen some white then. Mix a lot of white, frick. It's still too blue. Maybe a touch of hint of green, just the slightest smidge of green to mix into it. Still don't like it. It needs to be more green. More green. Less blue. Some more white. Yeah, it's still too blue. Frick. I mixed too much blue in this. Scoop. Actually, what am I doing? Mixing a sort of blue. The problem is I was mixing too much of a blue-green. I need to add just more of a yellow-green. That I think will balance out the blues more. So, and it has. Excellent. Lovely. Well done. We did it. Oh, that's too green now. Yeah, it needs a bit more, I think. stand to be a bit more of like an olive green. But some of these spots are just straight up blue looking to me. So, it's whatever. I'll do it whatever. Especially because, like, probably if I color picked it, it's some sort of gray. But I don't like grays, they're kind of boring. And also just hard to do, and I'm not going to be that picky, so we're going to do weird greens and things instead. And very... this is too white. Needs more like a Payne's gray, maybe. I'm going to make him Orpal. Yay. So, I mean, it's probably going to be more of a blue, but I like this purple that I've mixed up. Much better. Much better. Also, some recent news that I might be doing a local con here called Otaku Fest. Hopefully, if my applications got accepted, just because it is so close to where I live. So it might be fun to get back into the con scene. I do need to reorder a lot of my bigger prints because the big prints all got destroyed in the flood. So that's fun. So I have to remember. And also I think I ran out of like stickers last time that I have not bothered restocking that I really should bother restocking. So I have like a lot of Pride stickers and I think I ran out of like all the lesbian ones. So I need to restock that. And now is probably the time to do that. Maybe I will do some blues in here, because I don't... Yeah. This probably should be more blue than it is purple, but it's fine. We've committed to this already. I can always go over it later and fix it and change it. Yeah. Ugh. Not liking that. So probably need a lot more blue and a lot more white. That's a bit better. Yeah, I like this color a lot more. It's like a sort of, like not quite a lilac, but it's like a sort of almost purple blue, like a periwinkle, I'd say. Yeah, and that's doing a lot better, I think, for this piece. Doot, doot, doot. Yeah. Yeah, the stomach's gonna give me trouble, isn't it? I could already feel it fighting me. It's like, no, you can't just do big shapes. That really should be more like a greenish blue for his little feet, but you know, I didn't mix a greenish blue for his feet, so he's getting little purple feet. Yeah. And I also wish this would blend a bit more with his hips. Yeah, I just need to put more stronger colors in. I'm so used to doing watercolor by now, so I'm not used to like laying it on so thick. Otaku Fest holiday was a mess, so kind of want to chill. Oh really? I didn't go. Oh right, you're doing the flower festival. That's gonna be fun. Take a lot of photos, yeah? I had no really justification not to. I did hear that it was a mess, the holiday one. Hopefully the non-holiday, the normal Otaku Fest is going to be a lot better. Maybe they've got their things together. Either way, it's so close. The convention center is so close to me that I don't really have a justification not to. And I did want to do the con, and I've liked doing an artist alley table with them before. So I'm like, why not? If it sucks, you know. But, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So we shall venture. Venture forth. And see what it is like. And then I'll let you know. can't be worse than a supercon that I did, I think 2019. Lesson learned, don't table with friends. Sometimes people are lucky and it works out if they table with friends. I was not lucky and I'm not risking that again. Friendship and business don't mix. I personally would not split a table again. Taking some photos and yeah, hopefully with the space. Yeah, it is the Miami Beach Convention Center, which is like really close. Technically, I could maybe even walk because I do not have a car because Miami's too expensive as it is. Let alone to try and afford a car. Are they insane? No, it's way too expensive to have a car here. Because you have gas and insurance and just a bunch of nonsense. It's not fun. So, like, I'm not even bothering. So yeah, but I could technically probably even walk over there, and it should be fine. And some greens, because he's a frog. That's too green. I should have chosen more blue-green. Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. He'll just be a very, very colorful frog. I think this goes here. Yes. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, and honestly right now I'm doing very wet on wet technique to like help. Maybe it might make it worse, but we'll see. We will see if it helps at all. Okay, that also needs to be, it's a lot of like me being, oh no, that needs to be more blue, that needs to be more green. So this is the inner workings, and I need some more green. Frick, it's been a hot minute since I've done watercolor, can you tell? Or not watercolor, gouache. Gouache. A lot of the changes in tone are also very subtle as well, so it's just trying to balance all of that without it just looking like mud, which is tricky. Hopefully working wet on wet I can maybe blend things out a little bit better. Maybe not. We'll see. We will see indeed. Yeah, but I'm hopeful about the convention. I haven't done it in like a year or two, so just because again last year a lot was going on. Hopefully things will be better this year. I like how this green is turning out. Actually, it's kind of nice. Yeah. Then more yellow here. I need to make him a little more bright. He's a very bright frog. He's very smart. So bright. No, not that kind of bright, but still. It's kind of green. And not what I need. Alright, here it could be a bit more green. I do need to remember where I ordered my stickers from, because I had a very particular site I was happy with. I just don't remember what it was. I think they sent me some like sample stickers. We just need to find those sample stickers that have like their logo on it, and I'll be great. I'll be golden. Until then, I know the printing I did was cat's prints. I really liked cat prints. The only like thing with cat prints is you have to cut everything down yourself. Just because, say you're printing a bunch of little things, it's cheaper to print all the little things on one big page than just a bunch of little things and cut it down to your size. But other than that, I hadn't had any problems with them. They're quite excellent. Don't ever, if you're doing cons, young artists, don't ever think, I'll wait to the last minute and do Office Depot or whatever, or Office Mac. No, don't. It's the devil talking. It wasn't Vogue Race. It was like either Sticker Mule or like Sticker Ninja or Sticker Giant or one of those guys. I just need to remember. I do want to get into like look into Vogue Race for like charms and things. I just don't know what would people like in terms of my products and like my art and what they would want to buy pins and things of or charms. So I'd have to like again just design things for that and just look into that. I do intend to like spend a little bit more time this year trying to do that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, we shall see with that. Vogue Races, I've heard really good things about them, though, especially with like charms and things. Just because if you risk it with anyone else, it's always finding like the right sort of person, and you don't know who's good at what. But Vogue Race is like kind of industry standard at this point for like artist cons. Like almost every artist I've talked to, like, oh, where'd you get your charms? Oh, it's at Vogue Race. So I've heard a lot of good things about them. Haven't heard many things to complain. All I know is like if you're not getting Vogue Race, then you want to look at the producers on like AliExpress or something. But again, that's a lot of trial and error that I just don't feel I don't really have time for. I don't want to deal with the stress of that. So if I know something's good, then I will go with what I know. It is, with the sticker one, it was tricky because a lot of these companies are really good with stickers. It was just like who had the best deals relative to quality. And I need to remember. I don't remember who did what. I have it somewhere, I swear. I just have the worst memory ever. So who can say? Who knows? Not me. Okay, this can be a little more orange. And this guy can be more orange. And over here, probably. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, he's coming quite along quite nicely. Frog. Frogs? Yeah, frogs are good. I do, in terms of like charms and things, have like ideas. Some frog charms might be cute to do. Just because everyone likes frogs. They're really cute. You can't go wrong with the good amphibian. Yeesh. Let's see. Crows too, I know are really popular. Anything like sort of goblin core, cottage core. If you'll forgive the cores. I have some folk that I know who are just call it an aesthetic, don't call it a core, which I find amusing. Personally, I like the naming things so and so core just because it's easier to look up on like Pinterest and organize things. And if it's got a nice little label in a nice little box, then it's so much easier to organize. But I also understand like it's can be a little annoying. Cottage core this and goblin core that, and just everything's got a core. Just like calm down. So, but for sorting purposes, it's lovely. It's really fun. It's a frog. No, I don't remember. I think all toads are frogs, but not all frogs are toads. I don't remember how that went again. I have to look it up. Now we're just doing the little details, the little knobs. Some reflection under his mouth. Yellow here. Oh, I need to also be mindful like not to, smudge it when my hand is going around. I can do, yeah, over here is also, there's some reflection under his lip. A lot of bounce light you have to be mindful of, to use the fancy artist terms. Probably stand to put more yellow in there. This here. I don't like that brown, that was a mistake. You need to remember, I'm using the black of the paper for the darks, not the actual colors. So, yeah. That's why I was painting on black paper today. Sort of experiment with that. Okay. Some yellow. Oh, that's actually a bit better. If I tilt it like that. You guys can see it better, maybe? The contrast is a bit scuffed, but it's fine. It'll suffice, maybe, a little bit. Some more of this orangey yellow here while it dries. Probably some like ochre as well on his arm. Frogs. It's frogs. I definitely need to dabble with the contrast at some point, but not now. He has like little red bits on his little pads, his little arms. They almost look like scales. Right here. That's too wet, I think, to work on it now. On to the other section that wasn't all still wet. I put in the rest of the blue. Yes, very blue eyes. But he also has very green, almost that kind of greenish eyes too. Right here, where all the detail is. It's very striking, his eyes, for like such a yellow toad. The eyes are strikingly blue, which I was surprised at. And again, it's just going around the painting, just fixing things. Oh, that's too... Whatever, it's there now. Yeah, I think I'm almost done with that fella, though. Just a lot of little dots. Little dots. I forget that there's a technical term for those dots or not. Little warts? I don't know. It just seems so mean. Also, fun fact, I know there's an old wives' tale going around that if you like kiss a toad, that you get warts. It's not true. Old wives' tale. You can kiss all the frogs you like, all the toads you like. I mean, careful. Some of them are poisonous, but like you're not gonna get warts. Just if you're worried about warts and that's what's preventing you from kissing frogs, then you're not gonna get warts. And toads, be careful. Some of them have poisonous. But they're all so cute. Like, I'd understand. Like, look at this face. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Who would want to smooch such a cute little toad? Mayhaps a toad. Yeah. I think we're almost done now. Which is good. I might just imply the background, to be honest. I don't think how his mouth isn't. Some places I overworked and didn't let the black shine through, and luckily you can just put it back in with the paint. I've noticed too they've become quite popular, toads and frogs as pets, especially those like really shiny green ones. Like they're called like moon frogs or something. So those look really cool. I've thought about getting one, but if I were to get just one strange pet, it'd probably just be a snake, like a corn snake. Yeah. Is it green or blue? I don't know. I know it's not a true black. I didn't want to use straight up a black when I was putting back the sort of darker values into this piece. Frogs. And a lot of line art too, you can just use like the darker ochre sort of reds. You don't need to use the actual like a black or a brown or anything. Which is useful, which is nifty. I think this side's dark enough to start putting in the dots. Yeah, it's getting all damp and moist, and not moist. The opposite of damp. I don't know. That's what I need it to be. It's getting all dry again. I need to spritz it, water it. Sometimes you just have to all sort of squint at your painting and be like, oh, what color goes there? More of this, maybe. And also maybe more white. He's almost done. I can't get see, I can't get like a little closer bit of the art, more detailed. There you go. It's a bit better now. Yeah, I need to work on seeing if the contrast could stay consistent, not like change, so that my hand is gone. I think the black paper is messing with it a lot more than it actually is. So maybe it's just the camera. I'm not sure. Need to look into that. Need to look into that. But for now, it'll suffice. You can roughly see I'm painting a frog, which is good enough. Frick, I went too dark with that. No! That needs more white too. More highlights. Yeah, at this point it's mostly just texturing and the fine little details. That's blue. I need white. Not blue. I don't want his snoot being blue. He's an orange. He's a yellow frog. Can't speak today. More light up here. Perhaps a toad. And I think I need some more blues over here. Right. And then I'm just gonna imply very loosely the sort of the plants here. Just very loose brush strokes. Don't really care too much about the detail. The frog's the main, or the toad's the main important thing here. Not so much the foliage around him. Technically, he shouldn't even have foliage. He's a desert frog, but he's special now. He gets some plants, some nondescript plants. And then I wanted to do a rock there, just so. You forget it's on black paper, so I would shade it the opposite of normal. Just the implications of the background. Neat. Some purple I think will help like mute it, because I don't want these plants being so bright or muddy. Also sometimes helps to clean up your palette. Just use a random color. If you need something muddy, just pick something on your palette. So I'm picking like a purple from a leftover project, just to make things a little more subtle, more muddy. Just push it back a bit. Bring in some more grays. Yeah. That's a bit too bright, too light. be hard to blend too if you want to blend it, so be mindful of that. I'm trying. It's been a hot minute since I used it. So. Yep. Sometimes too you can use water to like remove paint by just lightening it up. If you want to add back, see, because I'm using a sort of black paper, I use water to lift it if I want to bring back some of the black under paper. So yeah, but you don't, if you want to blend something, that can also be a risk if you do that too much. There's a very fine line between lifting paint and blending paint, which I think artists are oh too familiar with that paint. Like, no, it needs to be just blended. I didn't want to remove this whole swath, this whole section. It's gone now. Why? Why? Towards the end too, sometimes I like to get just a little bit more gestural, just to like be a little less controlled, just to like imply form a bit more and such. Here, I think the white's too much though. Tone it down. I just need to wait for it to dry so y'all can see it better. So the glare is always a pain with this light. I'll just like, you know, mess with the leaves a bit more, just to wait for the frog to dry, just so y'all can see more of the end result before I head off. Just because I think this piece is mostly done. It wanted it to be like a cute little short and sweet sort of stream, nothing too crazy to start off the year, you know. Ugh, that's too dark. I need this. There. Yeah, I know, like the glare, this like here it looks a lot like it's white. It's not. Just wanting to figure out how to do lighting better, because this is annoying when it's like, this is definitely a white and not just a harsh light reflecting off of the water. And I suppose that's what I get for working with a water-based medium. So, there are costs to every choice. So hopefully I'll start working more with oils too. I don't know how those are going to show up on stream. I need to probably reconfigure my streaming setup if I work on something like a big oil piece. I now, luckily, since we moved, have a little bit more of the studio set, like the studio space to do that. I am, however, limited by my streaming setup. Like my computer is no longer Bluetooth capable, which is fun, so I can't do screen shares from, say, like Procreate, like an iPad, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I suppose that should suffice. Gotta add some blue just to blend it out a bit, these greens here from the background, because it is a pretty dark blue. That's too blue. Frick. That is it. Just finished. Let's see if I can't. Yeah. So, frog, toad, ta-da! Finished our first stream of the year. Something short and sweet. Thank you guys for stopping by for this stream, the first stream of the year. I hope to stream a lot more this year. I don't know if it'll be every week or like once a month. I'm still figuring that out between work and here and a bunch of other things that I am working on at the moment that I've got in the works. So I will keep you posted. Yeah, thank you for joining the stream, everyone, and have a good evening. Bye!